What if I told you that not every person walking this earth has a soul? That some of the individuals you interact with daily, those you speak to, spend time with, might actually be hollow echoes of humanity, lacking any genuine inner being? This concept isn't a recent invention or a mere philosophical musing. It's an ancient revelation, an esoteric understanding preserved in certain spiritual traditions, and only now is science beginning to brush against it. For generations, mystics, seekers, and thinkers have described entities that appear human yet are void within. Helena Blavatsky, one of the key figures in the formation of modern theosophy, cautioned over a century ago that some individuals are missing the divine spark, that while they possess human bodies, they lack a true soul or inner consciousness. These people might look like everyone else, but they exist in a reality that masks a deeply unsettling truth. And the strangest thing is, you've probably encountered them already. Have you ever spoken to someone and felt something was off, like they weren't truly present? Their eyes seem hollow, their words mechanical, and they don't seem genuinely connected to the moment. Have you ever had a conversation where you sensed a profound emptiness, as if they weren't fully conscious in the way you are? Let's delve into this hidden mystery. We'll explore ancient teachings, spiritual philosophies, and emerging scientific insights that suggest not all humans are created equal. Some carry a soul that evolves, while others might simply be playing a part in this reality, never truly waking up to who they are. We'll unpack this concept from its metaphysical origins to its implications in the modern world. If you have the courage to look beyond appearances, come along. Because once you truly see this, your perception of the world will never be the same. To grasp where this idea comes from, we need to go back to old spiritual teachings. The idea that some people are without a soul is far from contemporary. It has been discussed for millennia, appearing in sacred scriptures, hidden teachings, and mystical traditions. One of the key figures linked to this belief is Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, the founder of the Theosophical Society in the 1800s. In her renowned work, The Secret Doctrine, she claimed that not all individuals had yet developed a personal soul. She believed the soul evolves over time, and some people in this lifetime haven't yet ignited their divine essence. Blavatsky categorized humans into two distinct types: those with a soul in development, people aware of their spiritual side and striving to rise above the material world, and those without one, biologically alive but spiritually stagnant, functioning purely on instinct and habit. She didn't label these soulless individuals as evil, but suggested they were highly susceptible to external influences, whether social, cultural, or spiritual. But this idea goes back even further. In Gnosticism, a spiritual movement from the early Christian period, people were grouped into three kinds: the spiritual, those with a developed soul who are on the path to awakening; the psychic or intermediate, those who have a soul but are torn between matter and spirit; and the helic, those completely entangled in the physical world, disconnected from the divine spark. The Gnostics believed the helic lacked the capacity to transcend material existence because they were too deeply attached to it. So while they weren't entirely soulless, their awareness was dormant, incapable of rising beyond basic survival and desire. This idea is also echoed in classical philosophy. Plato spoke of the soul's immortality and its journey of refinement. He believed that not all souls were equal or at the same level of growth. To Plato, the soul required purification through wisdom and virtue. Yet many remained trapped in lower states, governed by raw desire, uninterested in seeking higher truths. In his famous allegory of the cave, Plato described people living as mere shadows of reality, possibly an early hint at the notion of soulless individuals. In Hindu and Buddhist teachings, similar beliefs appear. Some beings are caught in samsara, the endless cycle of rebirth, never reconnecting with their higher essence. In certain schools of Buddhism, some humans are seen as instruments of karma, existing solely to serve a function in others' lives, without progressing spiritually themselves. They're like dream characters, existing only to fulfill a role in the larger story of life. From theosophy to Gnosticism, from Plato to Eastern traditions, the concept that not all people possess a soul has been explored in many ways. As hollow vessels, material-bound beings, or tools of karmic design. These teachings ask us to reflect. Are there beings around us who only appear human? Could it be that some people are simply empty vehicles, lacking spiritual essence? Now that we've examined the historical and spiritual roots of this concept, the question arises, how do we recognize such beings in today's world? How can we distinguish between those with a real spiritual connection and those just acting out a script? To uncover this, we must look for recurring patterns in behavior and energy, signs that might indicate whether someone has an awakened soul or is merely an animated shell. One of the clearest indicators of these soulless types is their inability to connect on a deep emotional level. Sure, they can show surface-level feelings like joy, anger, or irritation, but when it comes to profound emotions like real empathy, compassion, or unconditional love, they seem distant. Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and felt nothing behind them? As if their presence was cold, their energy hollow, and the connection superficial. You might have encountered one of these beings. It's not necessarily that they're cruel. They simply lack the internal force that drives soul evolution. They don't grasp higher concepts like transcending the ego or pursuing deeper meaning. They see life as a string of automatic routines, following social scripts without ever questioning them or contemplating their true purpose. This mindset is common in those who move through life on autopilot, fulfilling roles society sets for them, never asking, "Who am I? Why am I here?" Esoteric traditions teach that the soul is a powerful source of energy that radiates spiritual warmth. In contrast, individuals without a soul lack this inner force and are often perceived as cold, heavy, or even unnatural. Those who are sensitive to energies may feel exhausted after being around such people, as though their life force is being siphoned off without any energetic return. Others might notice a subtle detachment, as if something fundamental is missing or switched off in the person before them. This sensation is common among spiritually perceptive individuals. Even if they don't always consciously realize it, the feeling can arise in close relationships, casual meetings, or even when observing well-known figures. These individuals seem to operate on a kind of script, their actions and words mechanical, lacking genuine emotion or presence. One major sign of these soulless entities is a lack of true creativity. Since authentic creativity flows from a connection with the greater universal source, those without a soul tend to recycle ideas and mimic what already exists rather than originate something new. They prefer to conform to trends instead of questioning or innovating. They shy away from venturing into mystery and avoid discussing topics such as spirituality or profound philosophical questions. This trait is particularly prominent in consumer-driven societies, where many people appear to live merely to consume, comply, and react, showing little interest in personal or spiritual development. From an esoteric point of view, the soul is what gives us the drive to question our reality, resist control, and seek higher truth. Without this spiritual essence, certain individuals are more prone to being influenced by controlling forces such as mass media, authoritative systems, and cultural conditioning. They tend to accept information blindly, without applying critical thinking. They often cannot escape rigid mental structures and are quick to dismiss anything that challenges their programmed worldview. That doesn't necessarily mean they're evil or consciously harmful, but the absence of a soul leaves them more exposed to external manipulation. They resemble empty containers, ready to adopt any dominant belief system or narrative without introspection. If we pay attention, we begin to see that this idea of soulless people isn't just a symbolic or abstract notion. It's a phenomenon we face in everyday life. From shallow emotional expression to the lack of inner questioning, these traits suggest that reality is far more layered than we've been taught to believe. This, however, brings us to an even deeper inquiry. What is the function of these beings? Why are they present in this realm? And how do they contribute to spiritual growth? Many esoteric and philosophical schools have addressed this mystery from varying angles. Let's examine 4 of the most compelling theories about their presence and purpose in the spiritual evolution of humankind. From the theosophical and occult lens, some individuals are what Blavatsky referred to as empty shells, living organisms that function normally but do not possess a developing, individualized soul. In this framework, the soul isn't an automatic feature of birth. Instead, it emerges gradually over many incarnations and must be nurtured with conscious spiritual effort. Some of these beings are regarded as latent souls, those who haven't yet awakened the divine spark that connects them to spiritual awareness. Others, however, are seen as human-like entities animated solely by primal energies, lacking a deeper spiritual aim. In this context, Earth becomes a stage where evolving souls engage with these beings to learn how to differentiate truth from illusion. More recently, some theorists have proposed that reality might be a simulated construct, an idea increasingly explored even within scientific circles. In such a model, soulless humans could be likened to programmed agents embedded in the system to preserve its structure. They would be similar to NPCs, non-player characters in a video game, interacting with the environment and performing assigned roles. But without true self-awareness or choice, they react to stimuli, unable to question their nature or programming. In a simulated reality, such soulless figures would essentially be lines of code, creating the illusion of uniformity, even though some beings possess true consciousness while others do not. Another view, influenced by Gnostic thought in certain occult teachings, proposes that some soulless people serve as vessels for external entities. These bodies may be influenced or even controlled by energies from other dimensions, or by a collective intelligence that operates as a single force. Some esoteric sources suggest that non-physical intelligences can temporarily occupy these individuals, using them as channels to enact intentions on the physical plane. This echoes the Gnostic notion of archons, invisible manipulators who use soulless humans as tools to shape human behavior. According to this theory, these individuals are unaware of their state, but are utilized as instruments within a grander control mechanism. Though unsettling, the presence of these soulless entities serves a deeper function in the spiritual realm. From a metaphysical point of view, they exist to provoke and refine the awareness of those on a path of true awakening. They mirror illusion and force conscious individuals to discern what is authentic from what is artificially constructed. In facing these beings, those with evolving souls develop greater wisdom, intuition, and resistance to deception. Their existence acts as a filter, distinguishing the awakened from the unaware, and assisting in the spiritual progress of those striving to move beyond the material domain. From this perspective, these beings are not flaws in creation, but integral elements of a broader cosmic design. They serve as catalysts, challenges each soul must encounter and overcome in order to ascend to higher spiritual planes. Theories about the existence of soulless individuals vary widely and offer deep insights. Whether we interpret them as hollow vessels, digital constructs in a simulated reality, or conduits for external energies, they all converge on one key point. Reality is far more layered than it appears, and not everyone is what they seem. But if such entities do walk among us, what can we do? How can we safeguard our energy and avoid falling under their influence? These beings may surface in every part of our lives, at our jobs, within our families, or among our friends. Though they may not carry malevolent intent, their absence of spiritual essence makes them particularly vulnerable to external influences, whether ideological, energetic, or from other dimensions. Here are some spiritual methods you can use to identify, shield yourself from, and minimize the impact of soulless individuals in your life. The initial step in protection is learning how to detect them. As we've discussed, they tend to display recognizable patterns. They lack emotional depth and cannot connect in a meaningful way or display genuine compassion. Their eyes may seem vacant, and their energy can feel cold or lifeless. Their behavior appears scripted, lacking vitality. They mimic cultural patterns and avoid critical thinking. They follow rather than question. They're easily influenced and accept new ideas without introspection. They show no interest in inner growth or spiritual exploration, avoiding things like meditation or self-examination. If someone in your life shows several of these signs, the most important thing you can do is maintain awareness and avoid emotional entanglement. One of the most draining mistakes is attempting to wake up those who fundamentally lack the capacity for spiritual depth. Many soulless individuals simply cannot comprehend deeper realities, not because of ill will, but because their internal structure doesn't support that level of awareness. Trying to shift their perception will only leave you depleted. The wisest course of action is to focus on raising your own vibration and allowing others who are spiritually ready to find their way to you. It's important to remember that not everyone is here to evolve spiritually. Some exist merely to play out a role in this collective reality. Because these entities can be energetically draining, protecting your own frequency is crucial. Here are some practical ways to maintain energetic hygiene. Meditation and inner alignment. Consistent meditation fortifies your energy field and heightens your awareness of energetic drains. Salt baths and energetic cleansing. Tools like sea salt, incense, and cleansing herbs such as rosemary or rue can help clear residual, low-frequency energy. Protective talismans. Crystals like black obsidian, tourmaline, and smoky quartz are powerful for blocking negativity and shielding your aura. Avoid emotional entanglements. Emotions like fear, anger, or shame lower your vibration and open doorways to negative influence. Stay grounded and emotionally neutral. Sever energetic cords. If someone has drained your spirit, visualize a beam of light connecting you and mentally cut it using a sword of flame or light. This helps reclaim your personal energy. Though soulless individuals may exist, so do many awakened souls, people with whom you can form real, meaningful spiritual bonds. Seek spaces that encourage introspection, growth, and spiritual development. Trust your intuition to lead you toward those walking a similar path. Move away from those who leave you feeling hollow or disconnected. According to the law of vibration, you attract what you align with. By elevating your energy, you will begin to magnetize others whose spirits are also expanding. Some may initially feel uneasy or unsettled by this knowledge, but understanding isn't meant to create fear, it's meant to empower. Realizing that not everyone possesses a soul gives you clarity. You stop wasting time pursuing depth where there is none, and instead, you conserve your energy for your own spiritual transformation. Your intuition sharpens. You begin navigating the world with greater discernment. This life is like a spiritual chessboard, where not all players are of the same nature. Some are here to grow, others to reflect or resist that growth. While we can't eliminate the existence of soulless people, we can consciously protect our energy, elevate our frequency, and surround ourselves with those who are truly alive in spirit. We've explored everything from theosophical insights and Gnostic beliefs to practical tools for recognizing and safeguarding yourself against soulless influences. Now comes the most important question: what will you do with this knowledge? The world isn't what it seems. Spiritual masters have long warned us that what we perceive as reality is merely a veil, a woven illusion of spirit and matter. Many among us remain spiritually dormant. They exist but do not evolve. But this awareness shouldn't frighten you. It should awaken you. Now that you understand not everyone carries the divine essence, you can begin to discern with wisdom. You'll stop wasting energy on hollow connections, avoid manipulation, and walk your path with clarity. In a world full of deception, your ability to discern truth is your greatest asset. Realizing that not all people have a soul helps you stay grounded and avoid falling under the influence of spiritually vacant beings. Surround yourself with people who are genuine and soul-aligned. Uplift your vibration by dedicating yourself to your own awakening and leaving behind the distractions that only anchor you to illusion. Refuse to let a system designed to disconnect you from your inner power pull you down. Knowledge means little without application. Now that you know this truth, let it guide your actions. Recognizing the existence of soulless humans doesn't mean living in fear or distrust. It means navigating life with awakened clarity. Everything in creation has its place. These beings are here to test you. For those whose souls are truly evolving, the ultimate question is, what will you do now that you see? You can ignore the signs and continue living as though nothing has changed. Or you can expand your consciousness, guard your energy, and deepen your spiritual practice. The decision is yours. If you've made it this far, it means you're not like everyone else. There is something inside you seeking deeper truths, something that recognizes that this world is not as it seems. Your soul is waking up. Not everyone is ready for this knowledge. But if it resonates with you, it is part of your journey. Continue seeking, continue expanding, and above all, deepen your union with the divine. If this message stirred something within you, subscribe to our channel to keep exploring the hidden dimensions of spirit, consciousness, and reality itself. Like the video if it helped you see life through a new lens. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt someone seemed empty or without an inner spark? Share this video with someone you believe is ready to awaken. Remember, truth is not for everyone. But if you're still here reading this message was meant for you.